Hello there. I didn't see you come in. Please, have a seat. Hello, everybody. My name is Ben, and today we're going to be starting a brand new Let's Play. A Let's Play of this game. This right here. See if I can get it in focus. This is called Sherlock Holmes The Awakened. And I actually found this, I believe, from what the seller told me, that this is a first-generation copy of this. No fixes, no patches, nothing to make the game better. Apparently there have been some patches to this game that have made it, according to the producers of the game, have improved it. I don't know if that's the truth or not. And today, we're going to be doing a complete blind play of it. I don't know how long the game is. We'll probably have to do multiple parts. But we're just going to start it off for today and see what happens. I'm a big fan of Sherlock Holmes, and I'm a big fan of Cthulhu. And that's what this is. It's basically Sherlock Holmes versus Cthulhu, which is just an awesome idea. So, you know what? Let's dive in and just see what we think. Alright, we're just going to start a brand new game here. Get my other earbud in. I'll adjust the sound levels once we're into the game. Oh, I'm so excited! Baker Street looks great, doesn't it? Oh, there's Dr. Watson.
Go away, you swine! Leave, or I'll make you bleed!
These all came from the swamps. Could be toting contraband.
Could be toting contraband.
Holmes! Help me! Do not fight the calling!
Do not fight the calling!
Blood!
I beg of you, Holmes! The day! Relieve your blood!
There's a lot of people just saying the word blood, isn't there?
No, it can't be. It can't end like this. Again, this nightmare haunts me. It won't let me forget.
He's like, I'm gonna get
How
up.
did
No,
this
I'm gonna lay back down. It's okay. Yeah, it really can't end like this, Dr. Watson, because we've only just begun. It'd be a very short game. Ah, beautiful music. Now, I just love the look of this game. From the few, I have played a couple of minutes of this just to test it, and I love the look of it. I just think it's beautiful. Now, this game was made several years ago. It is an older game, and you can tell that by looking at it. And yet, the textures and everything, it's just marvelous. The layout and design. 2 years ago, London, the 6th of September, 1894. I do wonder if this game is actually going to be about Cthulhu himself, or if it's going to be about Dagon or Hydra, you know, one of the lesser entities of the Cthulhu Mythos. Oh, hey, look! Dr. Watson's walking down the street with his little bag. And I actually like the way that, just looking at Dr. Watson in those first few minutes, you can tell he's been sort of modeled off of David Burke from the 1980 Granada TV series of Sherlock Holmes with Jeremy Brett. Very nice touch. Lots of Holmes fans will appreciate that, I'm sure. Oh, Holmes looks pretty good, too. He's got, like, the Mr. Fantastic hair thing going on. Sweet.
Good morning, Holmes. Looks like a typical London day. Fog in the morning, fog in the afternoon. Ha, and here's a surprise. Fog in the evening.
It looked
Good morning,
very
Watson.
clear and sunny, actually.
Can you imagine? I have been
It's like a nice
at it
spring
since
day.
5 a.m. and I scarcely think my list of patients for the day has even been touched. What is more insufferable, I haven't even had a moment with the morning paper. They say the minister will assuredly...
Your ventriloquism skills
Oh,
are awesome.
Whatever is the matter? You haven't heard a word I have said.
It is the tedium, my dear Watson. Life is ordinary. The papers are lifeless. Any hint of audacity, and dare I say romance, has vanished from the criminal world.
Holmes, it is only temporary. You know perfectly well that sooner or later an exceptional incident will occur in London or thereabout, which cannot rest till the talents of Sherlock Holmes are called
Take
into
another
play.
bite.
Then it will be up to your agile wit to set things right, which should satisfy your constant need for mental gymnastics.
I hope the heavens hear your words, Watson. I hope they do indeed.
I must take my leave.
Nice
Holmes.
read.
I have an
Nice
appointment
read there,
with
Holmes.
a rather odious man, Captain Stenick. He is apparently in a state with near tachycardia due to some problem involving his manservant. Why don't you get out for a brisk walk, Holmes? Perhaps buy a newspaper or visit that fellow, Barnes, over on Glentworth Street. You might remember him, the bookseller. He has some new volumes of the particular sort that should occupy your mind for a time.
Barnes. Yeah, eventually, he and his buddy Noble actually started sharing the business, and then well, never mind. You don't want to hear that story. You know, I like the way that Watson started sounding a little bit like he was reading the synopsis off of the game box here. Like, he started sounding like he was actually, like, advertising it. Then it will be up to your agile wit to set things right, Holmes. Nice guys. Very nice. Okay, I love the look of Baker Street. Wow, look, this game is running so smoothly. My computer's kind of old, and it is just running great. Yeah, I'm so excited. Okay, again, I'm a really big Sherlock Holmes fan, and I love, just looking around, I can see so many little touches. Like, of course, here is Holmes's experiment table. Now, I think it could be a little messier. Baker Street was very messy. But look up here. That is the spear that killed Black Peter. And over here, of course, is Reichenbach Falls. I think this little guy here is supposed to be the resident patient. Of course, we don't have the knife. Okay, we don't have the knife. Generally, Holmes has a dagger that was stuck into the top of the mantelpiece, and that's where he'd keep his correspondence. Oh, check this out. There's the Persian slipper where Holmes keeps his tobacco. And just little pipes laying all around this place. And, of course, the noble, majestic violin. A lovely, lovely air rifle there. Probably meant to be the one from The Adventure of the Empty House. And, of course, look, right there, we have, right across the street, a house that's set up in perfect position to be the home from The Empty House. I love that. Of course, Robert Houdin up there. I don't actually know if that's him, but it kind of looks like him. If you don't know, that's a magician from the 1800s. Oh, we got a box of matches. Cool. You never know when you're going to need that. I think this is supposed to be Holmes's little file cabinet where he keeps all of his archives of all the newspapers and stuff. Ooh, I don't know what that's supposed to be, but it looks cool. So yeah, I would think that's probably Colonel Moran's air rifle up there.
I have no reason to go there.
Okay. I have no reason to go there. You know what I need? I need to use one of my pipes. That'll make this whole adventure better. Make my commentary more... Oh, shit. Sorry. Dr. Watson's room. Ooh, that's a cool, like... Oh, okay, I'm not gonna do this because actually it's making it really hard, and I'm gonna get teeth marks in my pipe if I do that. Check this out. Look at the little butterflies. Ah, man, it's cool. It's really cool. I like the look of this room. Red and green. It's kind of Christmassy. I could imagine some Christmas decorations in here. Okay, I'm sorry. I love looking around at this sort of thing. Oh, hold on. The VR in the wall, which is Queen Victoria's initials. Holmes shot that in the wall, and there's been some debate among the Holmesian community about... Hello, Mr. Potted Plant, aren't you beautiful? There's been some debate in the Holmesian community for decades about whether or not that really was the Queen's initials, or if it stood for victory over the Ripper, as in Sherlock Holmes solved the Ripper case. And I understand in this very series of games, there is a Sherlock Holmes versus Jack the Ripper. I'm very knowledgeable about the Jack the Ripper case. It's actually, I love serial killers, and this is actually my very favorite serial case. Of course, the first serial killer ever.
The Strand! By the Strand!
He sounds almost like a Brooklyn kid, doesn't he? Princess attacked!
Strand! By the Strand!
He's very harsh, isn't he?
So, my young friend, what is the news?
Nothing of interest for the great detective.
Oh, he's
sir.
one of my regulars.
Those old stuffed shirts ate up half of London at their big scientifical to-do, and some Scandinavia princess is driving the locals wild.
Scandinavia from Candy Mountain.
A Scandinavian royal is in London?
We're going to Candy
If you
Mountain,
and the
Charlie.
lads can look sharp and find out more about her visit, there will be some coin for your pockets.
Oh,
Righto, Mr. Holmes. If there's aught to be
nice.
found, the irregulars will have it.
He just-
I'll send the words out to the lads.
He just abandoned his job. And even Holmes was like, you don't have to do it right now.
It is necessary to keep my informants in fighting form.
Wiggins or whoever you were supposed to be. Can I get one of the newspapers? Francis X. Bushman, Beverly Bain, The Great Secret. Okay, so let's see. Hold on. I saw, like, I'm pretty sure I saw an icon. Oh, okay. Looks like that's the E button. I guess that's for, I almost said for inventory. That starts with an I. What? Let me see here. Okay, so we got items. This is our inventory, which starts with an I. Dialogues. Okay, this is cool. So you can actually read through the dialogues. They didn't add in all of the flashbacks of all that sinister dialogue, plus Holmes just going, blood, blood. Documents. Okay, so this is what I need to read. So, let me just briefly read through this, and then I'll come back and finish up this thought. I'll kind of sum it up for you so you don't have to listen to me read it. So I'm back. I've read this, and there's a few really cool little tidbits in this that I think you'll find kind of neat. So the first thing is the celestial phenomenon. Now this is basically saying that there is an alignment of the stars coming up, and that's very Cthulhian. So maybe this is hinting at his majestic return to nom nom our world. Strange disappearance. This was what the boy was telling us about the Scandinavia princess who her bodyguard went missing. He's apparently a big strapping lad, but somehow he got taken by somebody. Now, there's some debate about whether or not he's left, just ran off, or whether or not he's been kidnapped, because he is such a big, fit specimen of human. Deceased over here, I don't know that this is important, but I'm going to sum it up anyway, just in case. That this man, Matthias Fernston, due to his unfortunate accident, he died. He was a lighthouse keeper, and because he had passed away, according to tradition, his nephew was going to, who had just come back from India, is going to take on the responsibility as lighthouse caretaker. So, I, again, don't know if that's important, but it might be. It seems a little bit too specific not to be somewhat important. Strange fish. The day before yesterday, a bargeman noticed, he talked about thinking it was a jellyfish, then thinking it was human scalp. Turns out it's actually a red-headed wig from a theatrical company that's kind of on the downs, if you know what I mean. Then it has this great little dad joke that's like a butcher and he's missing a few fingers and he's like, yeah, I'm a little bit less handy, but I put a lot of myself into my work, that sort of thing. It's cute. Guy creating licorice resin gum. I think this was a little bit before that time, but maybe. But this is really awesome. Look at this. Daring thefts. So this is actually a reference to something that I haven't seen referenced in popular media almost anywhere else, except the Hayao Miyazaki film Lupin the Third. It is a reference to Arsène Lupin, the famous French gentleman thief, who was sort of like the French equivalent of Sherlock Holmes. So that is pretty awesome. If you've ever seen Lupin the Third, you at least have some sort of background on what I'm talking about. Hello, Mr. Bobby. You're kind of short, aren't you?
Pardon me, I'm looking for the Barnes bookshop. Would you happen to know it?
I know the place, know it well, Mr. Holmes. The bookshop is on Glentworth Street. Take your first right and then the next left, and you'll find it straight away.
Thanks for the directions. I thought you were just going to say, it's just in that direction. You'll find it. Thanks, Bobby. Ah, wow, that's beautiful. Look at the scaffolding over there. That's an oddly detailed area, isn't it? The Golden Lion. That looks like a pub. Any of you Americans who have ever been to England, I hope you went to a pub at least once. It is not an experience you will ever regret.
My respects, Miss Fleming.
Good day, Mr. Holmes.
Good day. Now this is Barnes the bookseller, right? Yep, Barnes the bookseller. Again, eventually he does meet his buddy Noble, but for now, it's just Barnes.
Good morning, Mr. Holmes. How are you? I have some new novels that should interest you.
That it's
a nice
just
illustrated
afternoon.
volume on fish and a collection of legends on piracy.
You
They
can see
must
it on
be
the
here
clock up
somewhere.
there. I love it when games have little elements like that. I'm sorry, Barnes. What did you
What
say?
can I do for you, Mr. Holmes?
Okay, I'll go into dialogue. I was talking over it because I was looking at that dang clock. Pirate legends. Oh, and a volume on fish. Okay, well, sure. Now, Barnes, I'm confused, honey. Why don't you just go and pick up this book for me? Like, just go and grab the book.
Appears to be a trace of shoe leather. Did somebody fall here?
Slip, pang, ah! Oh, thank God. They're just laying out. I thought I was gonna have to go through all these shelves.
A book about sea fauna.
Okay, yeah. It looks like
The
that's
pirate's book.
sea fauna. Well, is that
I
is
will
that
take
the
them.
proper term?
Thank
fauna?
you, and
That's
goodbye,
kinda
Mr.
cool.
Holmes.
Thank you, and goodbye, Mr. Holmes. Oh, you got a dead flower in your window, man. I'm a gardener. You can't do that
Those
to me,
flowers
Barnes.
need watering. By the way, Barnes, before some misfortune befalls you, I am quite certain Miss Fleming, the flowers saleswoman, would prefer chocolates to a fractured bone.
But how could you know that? Indeed,
What?
even she. I mean, I told no one about this. Other than Dr. Watson, that is. Oh, I see now how it goes.
We just got
Not at
Watson in
all.
trouble.
Watson would never reveal a confidential matter of professional trust. He did, however, mention your fine shop and your novelties. Knowing his views on classical literature, I doubt there would be any inducements to enter your shop unless it was professional business.
That's harsh.
What would trouble a man of your age and position, sufficient to require the services of a doctor? I noticed trace of shoe leather on the stepladder and deduced that you no doubt lost your balance, fell, and likely suffered a nasty sprain. As for the flowers, you deliberately let them die and left this sad display open to the public, hoping no doubt that their supplier would notice and take great efforts to come and replace them.
Nice.
Also, I know Miss Fleming to be a statuesque woman, so typical of the Scandinavians. I noted that you would
Candy's
likely
name,
wear
yeah.
shoes with a higher heel, so that you and Miss Fleming, should she arrive, see more eye to eye. Unfortunately, climbing about on ladders and the like in such shoes is a risky business, isn't it?
Indeed, it is, Mr. Holmes.
Believe me, Barnes, try chocolates next time. And besides, it requires a bit more than well-heeled shoes to find a proper soulmate. Don't you agree?
That was pretty good. That was a pretty good way of, like, introducing the mechanic of deduction. Now, I do wonder what would have happened if I hadn't found that trace of shoe leather and if I hadn't noticed the dead flowers. I wonder if Holmes would have still done that before he left, or if I would have just left and we never would have known. Okay, sorry, I had to change my SD card there so I could keep recording.
Holmes! Here!
Ah! It reset my volume levels. Oh, it's so loud. Oh, man. I'm not hearing a whole lot of music and stuff, are you? Oh, but there's the music. Wait, maybe there's just no music to this part. Okay, that's fine.
Ah, it's good that I've found you, Holmes. As I told you this morning, I've visited Captain Stenick. Although his symptoms are not serious, the circumstances which caused his palpitations are quite peculiar. Perhaps you can make something of it. Here is Captain Stenick and Sergeant Ruffles.
Where? Oh no. Oh no, they didn't load in! Oh. Watson, do you often introduce people from like 20 yards away? Jeez Louise, man. So I thought you guys didn't exist. I thought you'd poofed out of existence. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm ready to talk to you now. Okay, Sergeant Ruffle Potato Chips or Captain, I think he said Stenick. Let's talk to him first.
Captain, I understand from Watson you are quite upset.
Any man will be the same, and with less provocation. My servant has left in the middle of the night. Damned ungrateful after all I have done for him. To top it off, he knows not one word of English. Finally, if he causes any damage, I will bear the brunt of
these
people's
servants.
anger and suffer the consequences, as I am the person who brought him to England.
So ungrateful for
How
being
long
bossed
was he in your
around.
employment, and is he accustomed to vanishing in this
Yes,
manner?
at least he's paying him.
We returned from Australia
But still.
more than 5 months ago now. But to his credit, he never left this house before now. He is afraid of the city, as are many inhabitants from open spaces.
I can
Could
attest
he
to
have
that.
stolen
I grew up in the
something?
country.
Upon my word, no.
How much money?
I haven't
does he have
checked.
on
I
his
just don't think so.
person?
Frankly speaking, he didn't have any money. I kept his wages for him, and they are in my safe. In any event, what the deuce would he have a need for
Yes,
money?
I'm going to pay you,
Who
but I'm going
knew
to
that he
keep the
worked at
money
your
for
home?
you. You
And
can't
had he
handle
any
it
contacts
properly.
here in London?
Anyone who deals with me professionally knows Baopa is my personal servant. As for his contacts, they are limited to the
Let me correct that
delivery
for
men
you.
who
Personal
bring food
slave.
or other
You're
items
not
to my
paying
home.
him.
What reason could he have to see anyone other than myself?
I mean, I am the center of the frickin' universe. Gosh, you're horrific. This is horrendous. I mean, look, you're gonna tell me he can't afford to pay this guy? Yes, I paid him, but I keep the money for him in my safe. He just hasn't properly learned how to handle money, so I'll take care of it for him.
Now then, Sergeant,
Let's
what
have to
is it about, and
strike
what
a
elements of
pose
the
before we
crime
have
you
this
have
conversation.
documented?
Referring to the official report, the following particulars were taken down. A young Maori responding to the name Baaupa was reported missing
Baaupa,
by
what a
his
cool name.
employer, Mr. Stenick. No one in the surrounding area saw or heard anything relevant to this incident. In truth, we rarely concern ourselves with cases such as this, but the lad speaks not a single word of English, and according to his employer, has considerable strength.
Ooh.
Considering the wild customs of his native land, who knows what damage he could cause?
Look how he's talking to.
You must know, Mr. Holmes, there have been a few similar cases reported recently. The
That's
facts are
strange.
much the same. Immigrants from the poor districts have been reported missing by their families. We expect that some low-class brothel has opened its doors to the local exotics, and Mr. Holmes, you can imagine how word would spread. Mark my words, with his unique looks and speech, you will find this boy in no time.
I like how he
I
bops
imagine
around.
he'll have nothing worse to show than empty pockets and a delighted air.
Now
That
the
is a
brothel
possibility,
theory.
to be sure.
Oh, sorry.
However, I would be most grateful if you could ask your superiors to send me the reports about those similar cases. I rely on you, Ruffles.
Now the brothel theory does kind of make sense.
Watson, continue your search here. I must follow another lead.
You just keep doing that, Watson. You just keep standing there with your bag. You look so damn handsome. I could just eat you up right now. But I won't encourage the fan fiction writers. I won't actually eat you up. I want to encourage them. You know what they're capable of, Watson. Okay, now the brothel idea does have some merit, and considering there's a bar right over there with several upper rooms, it could be feasible. However, I think that Sergeant Ruffles did miss one important part. He's not paying him! Which was illegal at this point in time in England already. Slavery was already outlawed. So, come on, Sergeant, do your job. Slap some cuffs on him. Oh my gosh, look at this. I mean, this poor guy lived out here in this little wooden hut with no insulation. Oh my gosh, there's not even glass. Not even glass in the window. This guy's unbe-frickin' believable. Oh my gosh, look at that. The latch for the lock on this door is an exterior lock. This is horrific. I mean, we've really stumbled on something horrific happening here, and everybody's acting like it's just
The lock
whatever.
was not cracked.
I assume he means it doesn't look like he's forced his way out, considering he was locked in against his will. Because Captain Stenick is a slave driver, literally.
Flaxen, yellow in colour.
Well, that bodes well, doesn't it?
What a peculiar drawing.
Indeed. Indeed. Okay. Little straw bed. Can I... Yeah, okay. So something maybe in the fire. Maybe he's tried to dispose of something. The rim? No. Well, that looks interesting. Oh, now that stands out a lot. That's got to be something.
This appears to contain some measure of opium. I shall analyze it at Baker Street.
Ooh, so maybe he got or somebody gave him something. And he burned it, not realizing it had opium in it, and the burning opium, like, released gases that knocked him out. Does opium work that way? I actually have no idea if it does. I mean, obviously, we live in 2021 at this point. I mean, you know, most people don't do opium. They do other drugs, so I don't know. Footsteps.
Footsteps. Let's see.
Okay. Well, I can measure them. That's pretty cool. Oh, okay. I have to drag it. Okay.
The size is undoubtedly 7. The shoes are also hard-soled.
Okay. So I'm guessing these are all the same.
The size is
Yeah, they're all the
undoubtedly
same size.
7. The shoes are also hard-soled.
Oh, I mean, there's a lot of crap around here. This looks like something's got to be a clue. Oh, that looks... I think it looks like a green bean, but it looks like a clue. Like, it stands out a lot. Ooh.
How strange. This appears to be a fish scale. I shall have to examine this more thoroughly under the microscope.
Under the microscope. Alright, let's look at the footprints themselves. Oh, okay, so that it looks like it's missing a cobbling nail.
The right shoe is missing a nail.
Okay. Oh, I saw my little document icon. Ow! My little document icon came up, so I think we're done here. Yeah, I can't click back on it again. Okay, so they're here. Oh, look at that. It's bent. So somebody climbed over the wall.
Yes, there is something here.
Yeah, I see that, Holmes.
Yes, there is something here.
Oh, yeah, you want to give me some hint or clue? Yes, there is something here. Something. Who knows really what it could be, but there is something. Something. We gotta do something about this, y'all. Okay, maybe I just gotta look at it from the other side.
Yes, there is something here.
Ah! Okay, there's something. What is it? Is there more footsteps? Oh, there is footsteps. Oh, what? There's a ladder over here.
I have no reason to go there.
Okay, so there's a door. So that's clearly what they did, was exit into this beautiful, like, park area that's just randomly residing behind
This
a bunch
should
of
prove
homes.
useful.
Holmes. No kidding. No pun intended. Holmes. Holmes, sweet Holmes. There's something there.
Fibers. Why are they here? It will be necessary for me to examine this more closely at Baker Street.
Okay, so it looks like they climbed up, and I guess maybe the ladder, the weight of the ladder... Oh, no, they might have knocked out the guy and drug him, and when they were dragging him, they bent... No, because those are bent in. I don't know, maybe they just happened to accidentally step on it and bend it when they came in or something. I don't know. Who knows? This is intriguing, though. I am interested. Please say that you're going to arrest this man, Sergeant Ruffles. Sergeant
Come,
Ruffle
Watson, we
Potato.
must return to Baker Street.
What do you make of this, Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Stenick, I wish my news were your servant simply left your employment voluntarily for the service of a more honest man. Unfortunately, I don't have that pleasure. In truth, the news is grim indeed.
Wicked burn!
Your servant was seen in the company of 2 men yesterday.
You know what? I'll take it. At least some sort of
One of the
comeuppance
two is a
happened.
man of moderate size, very robust, and a mature age. His profession, which will be the key element in our investigation of this affair, will be determined by me
Investigation.
within few hours. The other is a young Hindi who is tall and only recently arrived in England. There is a darker side to these events. Your man was not with them by choice. Rather, the evidence shows he was kidnapped. At this moment, the reasons behind this villainous act are unknown, but rest assured, the truth will not elude me for long. Gentlemen, I wish you a good day. Come, Watson, we must hurry. There's a great deal to do and little enough time to spare.
Man.
Holmes, I must protest. You did not spare my client, Captain Stenick. This seems unusually harsh.
He
That may
kept
be,
a
Watson,
man
but
as
now
a
what matters
slave.
more is to know the reasons
He
behind
took him
the
from
kidnapping
Australia,
of this young Aboriginal yesterday
brought him
evening
back.
in central London, and more importantly, what has become of him.
against his will, and did not
I
pay
must
him.
concentrate on a small experiment I will run to test my theories. Please go to the poor Lovelorn Barnes and ask him if he has something on the Maori nation and its traditions. Also, if you should happen to see the newsboy outside, find out what he knows, and if it has value, give him a coin. And for God's sake, don't be a miser, Watson.
A miser? You cost me one of my patients and you question my level of generosity with your informers? Oh, really, Holmes? Sometimes you go too far.
I don't think we went far enough. I mean, again, it was illegal at that point in time already to own slaves. Like, okay, so do I use the desk? Oh, okay. Okay, we're gonna do an experiment. This is awesome. Acid spurt. I don't know what spurt is. Solvent. Okay. Oh, and water. Okay, water is the most powerful solvent. That's what they say. Okay. Can I roll it open? Okay, maybe we cut this open. Ooh, there's something in there. Okay.
The meatball ignited but failed to burn completely.
Meatball?
There are, without a doubt, mustard seeds present, probably in exotic form. What could be the other components, I wonder?
If that's a meatball, it's I don't know. Maybe it's a Chef Boyardee meatball. I don't know. That does not look like any meatball I've ever seen. Do I have the little bits? Okay.
Let's see if I can obtain a reaction with the help of my chemicals and apparatus.
Okay.
Now it can't be used for anything.
Is that like a... Hold on. Sorry. I think that's a candle. Maybe I can light it.
Now it can't be used for anything.
Now it can't be used for anything. You burned it to a crisp. It can't be used for anything. Okay, I guess solvent?
Now
maybe?
it can't be used for anything.
Spurt.
Now it can't be...
Acid. Well, we just destroyed the evidence,
Perhaps
guys.
if I apply heat?
He said that like he was scared to ask us. Perhaps if I apply heat? Maybe? What the heck is this thing? What is it doing? You guys are seeing this, right? The sound effect didn't
Incredible.
happen until
I
after they
notice
moved
strong
away.
presence of opium blended with a concentrate of morphine. The remaining elements are a mystery to me.
Okay, so somebody gave him meatballs. He cooked them and ate them, and in a drugged state, he was able to be taken away. That makes sense. Okay, I'm following what's going on so far. Let's use... I think that was the flaxen? Yeah, blonde hair, flaxen. Okay. I can't take any of that little like coal soot looking stuff. Well, that's pretty obvious, isn't it?
These rope fibers are clearly hemp. Now, about the origin of these stains.
Oh, it's a flaxen rope. I thought it meant like flaxen, like the hair color flaxen. Okay. The origin of the stains. Okay.
Nothing.
Okay.
Now
Heat.
it can't be used.
Now it can't be used for anything. Stop ruining my experiments. Okay, solvent. That works. So we just dissolved that, I guess, and now it's going to flippy-dippy around and squiddy-squirt the three elements into their own little test tubes. I think that's what's happening. It's a really weird machine. I've never seen anything like this in a game or in real life. I have no idea what this thing is. I love that it's still pouring even as the tubes
This
are
is
moving away.
evidently coal soot mixed with water, and given the absence of any salt particulates, it must be fresh water.
That's what I thought. It looked kind of like coal soot or something like it. I'll put this thing in here.
Very interesting.
Wait, I got a document icon up here. Is that all you're going to say? Hold on. Do I have anything else? Oh, yeah. These, like... Oh, they're scales from the corner. It looks like, I don't know, one of those stupid things people say, like post when they're, like, trying to make people think they have trypophobia, even though trypophobia isn't real.
According to this monograph, the fish scale appears to be from a perch, a saltwater fish with high commercial and culinary value.
Two things. First, I clicked over here, and it removed it from over here. I guess thank you, because there's a lot of scales to choose from. Second off, imagine if we hadn't got that monograph on fish, on the flora and fauna of the ocean. Like, imagine if we hadn't got that. We'd have been lost.
I should look from the window and see where Watson is.
Well, before we do that, Holmes, hold on. Oh, well, okay, I guess we're doing it anyway. I did not give consent. I'm going to go on Tumblr and complain about it. Let's go to documents real quick. What is that? Oh, hold on. Hold up a minute. I actually got the pirate book. I thought that was like just establishing a mechanic for the game. I didn't know I actually had the pirate book. Okay, well, hold on. Let's go through these notes here and see what all of these are. Okay, see if Holmes has said anything different about any of them. Okay, so the piece of linen that he didn't actually comment on says, a piece of cloth found at Stennick's on the door lintel of the young Mallory's room. It is definitely woven flax. This cloth was dyed, yet not in England. Without the slightest doubt, this material originated in India. Taking into account the height of the lintel, the only explanation is that a large man with a turban made from this cloth crossed the threshold. However, there is no trace of such a man in the garden, which means he knew how to land in such a way as to leave no trace when he jumped, and that his shoes have a smooth, flat sole like Indian slippers. With the other evidence included, this man is undoubtedly Indian and arrived in England only recently. Fascinating. Remember the lighthouse guy, his nephew is going to take his place, and he was from India too. I wonder if that's any relation. But also, maybe that's why those things were bent. He grabbed hold because he's a large man and was able to pull himself over or lower himself down. That's pretty cool and very subtle. They didn't shove it down our throat, yet obviously there's an answer. Everything else, it looks like Holmes basically said the same things. Now, I don't see a book on the flora and fauna of the ocean. However, I do see the pirate book, and I want to take a look at that real quick before we go any further, just so that I can kind of sum it up and tell you a little bit about what that's about, in case it's important later. Because the fish book was really important. Again, imagine if we hadn't got that, we'd have been screwed. We wouldn't have known that it was from a perch. Who knew? So when they eventually ended up taking this pirate named McGrinty, it turns out he had a huge treasure, a massive treasure, and he had hidden it. And they tried to see where it was, and he would only give this very cryptic clue about a goat's head, and like you take a certain number of steps towards the goat head, and that's where the secret is. And he wouldn't give them any more information until they gave him his freedom. And of course they did not want to give him his freedom, so they just slit his throat open and killed him. So I think that is interesting. And of course the story is kind of cool, but I don't know what it has to really do with this case. Who knows? Do we have any more news from Candy Mountain?
There's a good lad. How does it go?
Hello, sir.
How does it go?
My
Hum me a few
associate,
bars.
Sherlock
How does it
Holmes,
go?
said you might have information for him about now, what was it?
The Princess, Gov. He was looking for the scuttlebutt on this here princess what we visited. Exciting.
He was looking for the scuttlebutt on
Her
Candy's
bodyguard
Mavia.
went missing the first morning after she got here. Nice job to look after a princess's body, innit, sir? They say he went out on the town having a go with the ladies.
No, I'd like to
if you
look
get
after
my
a
meaning.
princess's body.
Like as
You
not,
know
he
what
was
I mean?
trapped by some gang of toughs. Otherwise, who'd get the best of him? A proper giant he was by all accounts. Do I get me coins then, sir? Oh, thank you, sir. Obliged, I'm
I gave
sure.
you nothing. I gave you absolutely nothing, kid. I'm so sorry. I'm just a skinflint. You know, Holmes told me not to be a miser. I think we were supposed to go to Barnes, right? I think that's what Holmes said to do. Look at that. There's a fire hydrant. I don't think they had fire hydrants back in 1894 London, did they? Was that a thing? No, because I don't think they did. I think they still had old-fashioned, like, fire engines, like, you know, the carriages, right? Oh, look at that. There goes a hansom. How cool. Hi, Barnes. How's your love
Good
life?
day, my dear Barnes.
Anyway,
What
how's your
about
sex
your-
life?
Tell me, Dr. Watson, physicians are obliged to keep their patients' confidences, aren't they?
Oh, he is mad.
Of course. Whatever do you mean?
A moment ago, Mr. Holmes came to my shop and seemed very well informed about the details of my recent accident. You and I both know that there is only one person who knew about my condition, correct?
Sir, I can assure you.
No, please, say nothing. It is so easy to ridicule my despair. But I love her. Can't you understand? I love her.
Yes, indeed. Well, in fact, I came here merely to see if you have a book on the Maoris.
Over there, on the bottom shelf.
Don't you see? I love her. I love her. I follow her around and lick her shoes. Good God. Okay, I'm hoping this one's laying out as well. What's behind door number 1? Oh, nothing. Nothing is behind door number 1. Okay, well, you know, it was worth a shot. Oh, what's behind door number 2? Nothing. Okay, well, glad that we had this conversation, Barnes. I really, just so glad.
I will take it.
I'm not going to pay
Farewell,
for it. I'm just going to
Barnes.
take it. I love her. I love her. We loves the precious. We loves the precious Miss Fleming. Good golly jeez. It's so funny. It's like, it's easy to ridicule me, but I love her. I love her. Gosh, surely he knows Holmes, right? I mean, he knows Watson. So surely he knows... Well, oh no, I guess Holmes did say that, like... Oh, oops. That Watson does... Because of his taste in literature, he wouldn't normally occupy, like, a five and dime sort of bookstore. So maybe he doesn't know Holmes, but surely he knows about Sherlock Holmes. Everybody knows about Sherlock Holmes. Watson's always publishing, you know, Holmes' stories in the Strand. Look, we have a Hobbit door. The doorknob's right in the middle of the door. We have a Hobbit door. That's awesome. That's really awesome. I like that. Walk around with our... Whoa! I feel like I'm in trouble. Gosh, he's standing there like, right when you walk in the room like Hannibal Lecter. Nice to see you, Clarice Watson. Would have been a very different movie, wouldn't it?
Holmes, what on earth did you say to Barnes to put him in such a state?
Not
Sorry,
now,
Watson.
Although I'm sure this bit of news is most significant, it must wait. We are piecing together a singular affair. This abduction story is much more complex than it appears. As I noted before, our next move is to locate the place of employment for one of the
this is so
villains
mean.
who abducted the young Maori. What part of London would such a man call home?
Okay, first deduction. First deduction. Okay. Okay, I can type. Okay, let's see. Look at my notes. Okay, so we have... Oh, hey, there's the Maoris. Okay, let's read this, and then we'll make our deduction. Looks like this guy's saying that the Maoris tend to have prophetic dreams. and that we in the Western world, we don't understand it because we view them as lower or, you know, less advanced than us. But perhaps even with all our science, there may be something that we're missing. It even says, well, maybe the end of the world will be predicted in time for those people to escape, whereas the rest of us, you know, maybe we won't have a chance because we don't have these prophetic dreams. We're not as in touch with our spiritual side. Okay, so let's go through my reports. Okay, so we got Lenin from India. So it's probably a place where there are going to be lots of different types of people coming in and out. Fibers, like rope fibers, mixed with coal, fresh water rather than salt water. Opium, I'm not sure how that would connect. Plant fibers. Okay, so what I would think is the rope would be like from a sailor, right? So we got sailors. It's a coal, like a coal-fed boiler. I'm gonna say docks.
Yes, Watson, there is little room for doubt. Our man
Yeet.
is a bargeman who works at the Thames River wharfs. He is more precisely
Sweet.
employed to transport and handle fish brought in by various ships. Our next
Oh,
step is
of course, the
obvious.
perch.
We must find a cab and make haste
I
to
didn't
the
even think
Thames
about that. I
near
was
the
just thinking about
warehouses.
the rope. Okay, sweet. So we got our icon. Oh, we can teleport now. So we can go... What is this? Oh, that's Baker Street. There's Stinnix, so that's Barnes. Sweet. Oh, and look, there's the little trail where the guy must have escaped onto the road beyond. Cool. And let's see. Wharf number 13. So this is the Thames River Wharfs. Okay. Awesome. So we'll go there next time. Next time around, we're going to go to the docks and we're going to find this guy who's kidnapped this little Maori kid. And maybe we'll be near the ocean. Well, okay, we'll be near a river, but that empties into the ocean. Maybe we'll get some Cthulhu action. All right, I'm excited. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching and have a great day. And I'll see you in the next one.